welcome back as we get to take a look at another quarter in the U.S. Women's Quarter program. But first, before we jump into the video, let's real quick look at the calendar. Next Monday, we have Eleanor Roosevelt. And then in May, we have Jovita Idar, Maria Tallchief, Reverend Dr. Polly Murray, which is actually the first Women's Quarter from 2024 that we missed. And then May 27th, stepping away from the Women's Quarters program, but looking at a very historic female, we will be looking at the Harriet Tubman $1 commemorative proof coin. And I also, last week, just got in the $50 commemorative proof coin. So we'll actually be taking a look at both of those, and that will be an unboxing video. And then in June, hopefully on the 10th, if not the 10th, the 17th, or maybe the 11th. We'll have to see. We'll have to play that by ear whenever that quarter actually comes in. It should be released the week before the 10th. So if I have it in hand, then we will do an actual unboxing video for that. And that will be the Dr. Mary Edwards Walker quarter. Now that we've gotten the details and the housekeeping set aside, let's take a look at Edith Kanaka'ole. Edith Kanaka'ole was an indigenous Hawaiian composer, chanter, and kumu hula. And she was dedicated to preserving native Hawaiian culture, traditions, and natural landscapes through her mo'olelo, which are basically Hawaiian stories, particularly in the face of cultural bigotry. She was known effectively as Auntie Edith. She was a respected authority on modern Hawaiian culture and language, and inheriting her knowledge of hula from her family, lineage, and furthering it through her own practices and teachings. So the first thing, a kumu hula basically translates to or means the master of teaching the hula dance. And the other thing to keep in mind is that Hawaii did not become a state until 1959. So her life was spent, the first half of her life was spent as a Hawaiian citizen. Hawaii, of course, was a territory of the U.S., but it was not officially a U.S. state until 1959. And to put that in perspective, it's 2024. So at the time of her death, which was 20 years after Hawaii became a state, would be essentially like saying between today and 2004. Like that was the short amount of time that Hawaii was a state while she was trying to preserve and carry out and take care of Hawaiian culture and customs. Starting in 1946, Kanaka'ole composed ole, which are Hawaiian chants, and choreographed hula, believing these traditions were fundamental to Hawaiian values and history. Her work played a crucial role in reviving and maintaining Hawaiian cultural practices. She pioneered Hawaiian language education in public schools, particularly at Kiukaha School in Hilo, and developed college courses on ethnobotany, Polynesian history, genealogy, and Hawaiian mythology, significantly influencing Hawaiian academic study. In 1979, Edith Kanaka'ole was honored with the distinction of Cultural Leadership Award, Hawaii's highest cultural accolade, acknowledging her exceptional contributions to the preservation and propagation of Hawaiian culture. I think one of the reasons that this is a big deal is for fear of when you have your own culture, your own identity, but you are assimilated into a larger organization or group, or in this state, government and country, there's a fear that you're going to lose your identity. There's a need to preserve who you are as a culture, your histories and traditions. And even looking in any large city, or maybe even medium-sized or smaller cities, there could be communities, maybe an Italian community or an Asian community or a Polish or Ukrainian or Russian community. And if you go to stores in that community and they're going to have foods or ingredients that are native, and that's part of preserving preserving your culture and your ethnic identity. And it is important for all cultures and people to preserve their roots, their history, their ethnic identity, all while being involved in coming into a new government or new country or new organization. So she was born in 1913 and she died in 1979. And that's basically a brief biography of Edith Kanaka'ole. Let's take a look at the illustration, the design of her quarter. Looking at this quarter, you can see now at the center bottom, it doesn't say quarter dollar. It doesn't say 25 cents. It's a 25 with the cent symbol. Once again, they have done a good job, especially this year and this would be a 2023 quarter. So in 2023, they did a very good job of switching up the way quarter dollar or 25 cents has been represented on the reverse of the coin. As always, on the back of our change, out of many one, e pluribus unum. I am not going to butcher the Hawaiian language written at the bottom of the coin, but the translation is granting the wisdom. We can also see that the base design of the coin is a picture of Edith Kanaka'ole, and her hair is morphing into Hawaiian landscape. We can see looks like a river with cliffs, and there are lines where her hair is. Reminds me of sort of, if you would look at a picture of a volcano, the grooves and stuff from eruptions, and the lines that lava leave as it hardens or cools. So I think this is a neat quarter. You can see that the sculptor is Renata Gordon, and the designer is Emily Damstra, and their initials on the back of this coin. Like I said, I think it's a neat quarter. And as we look at the actual quarter itself, I'll discuss my thoughts on the overall design. So why don't we switch over to the microphone right now and take a look at the actual quarter. Looking at the back of this, at the reverse, the back of this quarter, we can see the design that we just talked about. Her name there in the middle with her portrait off to the right, and then her hair flowing down into a Hawaiian landscape. United States of America written at the top, e pluribus unum. And the feature that I always discuss that I like is the way this year, meaning the year that this quarter was made, which is 2023, the way they have decided to, and left it up to the artist, I guess. There's no rules about it having to say quarter dollar, but leaving it up to the artist to identify the denomination of the coin in whatever way they felt artistically inclined to do. I think that's cool. I think the Hawaiian language at the bottom is cool. I think the middle of the coin is too busy. You have her portrait with her Hawaiian head lay, and I don't remember what the name of that is. There is a name for it. And then her hair flowing into the landscape, and I just think that there's too much detail. There isn't, if you recall the quarters that I've said I've liked, there has been very little detail, and there's been a lot of the field of the coin that's just been left open. This coin, they've done a fairly good job of just trying to make sure every inch of the coin is taken up by some sort of space, and it's just not my favorite design. Maybe I'll do a video, maybe when we get through all of the 2023 quarters, and we can take a look back at 2022 and 2023, and I can more specifically point out the quarters that I really liked and the design features or the way they were sculpted or carved or however you want to put it, and the ones that I didn't like and what features they have. I'll think about it. We'll take a look at that. And that's our look at Edith Kanaka'ole and her 2023 U.S. Women's Quarter. Looking at the calendar again, this is what we have coming up. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, if you are interested in getting a P Mint quarter, the first 5 or 10 people that email me at the email address in the description, I will send out to you one of these Edith Kanaka'ole quarters from the Philadelphia Mint. If anybody has any questions, comments, or criticisms, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below, or if you don't want to leave a comment down there, you can send me an email with the same questions, comments, or criticisms, or send me an email with your name, contact information, address of where you want me to send a quarter, and I will be happy to get one of those out to you. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope that you all have a great week.